Okay, guys, for my sanity, we're going to have to lay off the far left's terrorist attacks that have been happening for the last few weeks and continuing to happen. My health, I don't know if I can handle it anymore. And it's really hard to keep up with the news cycle. I mean, did you hear about all the libs taking Tylenol that are pregnant now? This video I've been wanting to make for weeks. I wanted to talk about Howard Stern and Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, all those woke guys. You know, the downfall finally of the woke era, because woke was never entertaining or funny. It was just pandering and lectures. We have to take our win somewhere. If there's anything good going on in the news right now, it's the end of this era.
Here's to the new era.
No more pandering, whining, oversensitive, over-offensive, over-exaggerating, brainwashing rubbish. I don't even know where that word salad came from.
Significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Well, I think culture is a reflection of our moment and our time.
So we all know what shows have been under fire. Steve Colbert was one of the recent ones.
On Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." How dare you, sir?
Howard Stern, which he should have been canceled a long time ago when he was actually offensive. No one just watches him anymore.
I agree. I give you a 10.
You know, she has interesting parts, but they don't go together. So
She must frighten children with that face. I'd give it a 14 if I could, but it's only a 10.
I've heard rumors that the show The View might be next. Wouldn't that be awesome for everybody? I've never even seen the Steve Colbert show. I don't believe so. Can you believe it's The Late Show? They canceled The Late Show. I used to love David Letterman. The Late Show is historical. It was historical with David Letterman. And look at you tanked it. But of course you're going to blame Trump. Don't blame Trump. Blame the Nelson ratings. Now let's get into Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. He got suspended after a bunch of lies he was spilling on national TV about Charlie Kirk assassin. He was saying that the kid was part of MAGA movement, part of the right, which we all know is false. We all already knew that the kid was a lib because the news and the FBI already told us. He had a trans partner. And now, of course, the left is coping and saying that he got canceled for free speech and that the right is now becoming the left with cancel culture. No. When you guys canceled people, it was for something they said 15 years ago. We are actually stopping people that are horrible today in modern time. Not someone who said something tacky 10 years ago. And free speech is one thing. Lies and pandering is something completely different.
Alrighty, this message is for President Trump and his administration. If you stay to watch the video, please tag him down below, share, and repost so we can try to get this to him as quickly as possible and hope that he can do something with this. President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act, you make it a law, and you make it damn near impossible for these people to continue to lie to the American public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country.
You can't just lie about an investigation or a criminal case or defamation on someone's character. I want to give an example. Okay, so we all know there's only 2 genders, and free speech doesn't change everyday word or vocabulary for that matter. We can't change every word in the English language because of free speech, so everyone lives in la la land and backward. And even Spanish, they use gender with all your pronouns and stuff. It doesn't make things make sense. And I know a lot of us have seen a lot of libs say the same thing Jimmy's saying and like to lie and pretend that the assassin was on the right because they can't admit that they're on the wrong side of history. Their TDS is so strong that they'll just continue to lie. That's where we're on the side of truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will always conquer. I've even seen this TikTok of this girl making fun of the right, stating that we always say that whoever did a crime is trans, and they were making fun of the situation. But name one that hasn't been. Every school, everyone is trans. His boyfriend was, or girlfriend, whatever you call it, was trans. All the school, if they're not trans, they're part of Antifa.
The bullets were trans, then is the gun was cis, or no? The gun was trans and the bullets were, I don't know. Did he know? He wasn't. He was cis. Was the dad trans? No, dad was cis. Okay. Well, who was trans? No, nobody was trans. He knew someone who was, maybe? We don't know. Okay. Maybe the house was trans, like the walls were trans? Walls can't be, walls are cis, right? Maybe the people who built the house were trans, or...
Stop fucking lying.
And it's not transphobic. It's factual. It's actual stats. It's actually what's going, and that's why we need to know what's going on with the trans violence in this country. That's why we need to do some studies to see, is it the drugs they're on? Is it the antidepressants, the SRIs? And that's why this is a war between good and evil. Truth and lies, and light and darkness. It reminds me when I was little. Okay, guys, this story is embarrassing, and don't get mad at me. I was a little girl. I was probably like 5 when this happened. I had a lot of sisters growing up, and I was like not the goody two shoes, because I was like the sex, drugs, rock and roll, but at the same token, I was the truthful one. I would never lie to get my way. I wasn't selfish. I'm loving, caring, Pisces. Well, I have a sister that wasn't that way. And when I was little, I knew she was lying. So I made her swear on the Bible. I forgot what it was about. I was like 4 or 5. Being the big old fat liar she is, she continued to lie on the Bible. And I couldn't believe someone would do that. And in my heart, I was like, who would actually lie on the Bible? That must be a horrible, evil person. So what did I do? I got the Bible and I smacked her across the head, and I got in trouble. But violence is never the answer. I was just a child. And me and that sister, we don't talk anymore, because that's a perfect metaphor for our relationship and the type of people we are. Because people who lie are selfish.
I have an excellent idea. Let's change the subject.
Only a small portion of the left is pretending like they're outraged from Jimmy Kimmel being canceled, and all the celebrities that have been on the show and trying to kiss up all those lip too. But there was a little boy that actually pew-pewed like the studios where Jimmy Kimmel, like his studios there, and there was people actually inside. I don't think anyone was hurt, but it was another crazy terrorist attack this week. These attacks are happening every day at this point, and I don't want to concentrate on them in this video, so I'm just going to move on. Anyway, it's a small percentage that's actually upset if Jimmy Kimmel was off the air, because I was looking at like a younger Gen Z chat that was talking about the whole situation, and they're a bunch of libs, and they didn't care. They're like, I've never watched that show, because he's like an old man. No one watches late shows unless you're like a boomer who still has cable. So yeah, I just wanted to set the record straight, because the internet will have you believing that is like half the country that's upset about Jimmy Kimmel being canceled, and it's not. It's just like a very small percentage. No one's watching his show. The salary they're paying him is a lot more than the people watching. Allegedly, I heard with each audience member, they're paying like over 80 cents per person with his salary. But since the whole cancellation, Disney caved and brought Jimmy back to the air. And of course, Jimmy blames Trump.
You almost have to feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
But it had nothing to do with Trump. Disney pulled the show because Sinclair and Nexstar wouldn't air them, which means it's not airing in a bunch of different states. And were you expecting Jimmy Kimmel to apologize? Of course he didn't apologize. He even doubled down.
I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear, because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
He just did a whole lot of coping. And don't forget, he faked cried, hoping we would forgive him like Erica Kurt forgave her husband's assassin. The audacity.
A moment over the weekend, a very beautiful moment. I don't know if you saw this. On Sunday, Erica Kirk forgave the man who shot her husband. She forgave him. That is an example we should follow. If you believe in the teachings of Jesus, as I do, there it was. That's it. A selfless act of grace, forgiveness from a grieving widow. It touched me deeply.
And the evil left is saying that Jimmy Kimball's tears were more authentic than Erica Kurtz at her own husband's funeral. These people are so vile. Erica is such a poised woman because she's a pageant girl. She used to be Miss Arizona and went on to Miss America. You have to be trained to be very confident and poised. Not to mention, this is besides the point, sidebar. I was listening to Emma Chamberlain, who's someone who does a lot of celebrity interviews on red carpet and public speaking, and she admitted to taking beta blockers before doing like the Met Gala because of her nerves and anxiety. I wouldn't put it past anyone, allegedly, not saying that maybe she saw her husband get assassinated publicly in front of the country, the world. I'm getting all fired up. Let me just wrap this up. Do I believe that they're going to cancel Jimmy Kimmel's show? Disney probably won't. They will probably keep him until the end of his contract. I believe it's only until May of next year, so about 9 more months. Because if they were to fire him, I think they would have to pay him out the remainder of his salary. So it would probably be easier to keep him until May of 2026 and just not renew his contract.
Real quick, do y'all remember Jimmy Kimmel when he was on the show called The Man Show?
That's it. I mean, do you think that
it's probably not the best look. Because y'all are like pretty upset that he's got canceled, right? I mean, he's a good guy, right?
Is there a problem? And did you find the hole I drilled in your dressing room? Hell going on up there. Do UFO live on other planets? Coming up, we've got girls jumping on trampolines. Listen, I'm being serious here too. I was checking women out as I walked down the aisle at my wedding. That is.
Ouch. Ooh, those were not the best clips to depict his good character. A little bit of degrading women, a little bit of blackface. Ooh, probably not the best light to portray him in, huh?
But I can't do it alone. Workouts are easier when you have a partner. My workout partner is my maid, Marguerite.
Huh. I mean, but I thought that we were upset because, you know, he's a good guy and he was just voicing his freedom of speech and, wow. I bet y'all forgot that stuff was out there, huh?
But I think that's all I got for today. Let me know, do you guys watch Jimmy Kimmel? Or did you guys used to watch his old show, The Man Show? Do you remember how offensive that show was? When that show was airing, I lived in California back then. And a bunch of my friends got to be in the audience and said it was pretty ruthless. But yeah, if you guys like this one, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, 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 bye.
Ladies and gentlemen.